Howdy, my name's Eric Fish. I'm the coordinator for Writing Learning Support at Northeast State Community College. I'm doing this video to just do a review of the co-requisite model. If you've been newly hired, you may not quite understand what's going on there, and it is a little different. Originally, back in the day, the good old days, or the bad old days, which however you want to look at it, students would do the ACT score or AccuPlacer or whatever, and be placed into particular remediation courses based on those scores. We used to have a remedial level, which was 0700, a developmental level, which was 0800, and then the college level, which was English 1010. What happened with the co-requisite model, this was led by Dr. Tristan Dinley, who's now with the University of Georgia system. He decided that we were going to try this new model whereby students were remediated as they took the college level course. And this has presented some very interesting challenges, some very interesting data. The data so far says that this kind of works, that students who are remediated as they are earning college credit are more likely to persist and be retained, which is what we're kind of all aiming for, right? The data suggests this is pretty much working. More as significant probably is that it's saving the state a whole boatload of money too. So it's not like we're going to go back to the old model anytime soon. With Northeast State's implementation, you can, if you have a real trouble going to sleep at night, you can read TBR policy 2.03.00.02, and this details why where the co-requisite model came from and how it's to be implemented. Colleges have some leeway in how they were going to do it. A lot of it was based on how much money the colleges already had. If you've kept up with the news with Northeast State, we haven't had a whole lot of money here recently. So the way we designed it is that the remediation is going to take place in an English 0870 course, and that course is going to support what's happening in the co-requisite Comp 1 course. So for example, looking at these matchups, and I'll send this to you here in a little bit, Adam Timms here with English A30 is matched up with Deborah Jennings here in English 0870 A01. And the idea is that what Deborah's going to be doing is one, reviewing the drafts of essays. And when you start seeing the students' writings, you're going to start appreciating having the 0870, if you're an 1010 instructor, you're going to appreciate having the 0870 instructor looking at those drafts before you get to look at them. Some students have some work to do, and they have some remediation to go through before they're going to be successful in Comp 1, and that's what the 0870 course does. That's the kind of the main point of the 0870 is to review those drafts for the Comp 1 instructor, but also the 0870 course supports whatever else is going on in Comp 1. And that's where you got to kind of talk to each other and decide who's going to do what, particularly in terms of like MLA formatting or documentation or working with the library. You don't want both classes to take library trips. That doesn't make sense, right? And students are going to get bored pretty quickly. So you want to kind of figure out who's going to do what. But the most important part about this whole process is that the 1010 instructor needs to get that class scheduled to the 0870 instructor as soon as possible, so the 0870 instructor can figure out, when they need to review the essays and have a little discussion there. For example, if you look at somebody like Joanne Shell here, she's matched with Audrey Peters, she's matched with me, and she's matched down here with Stuart Glass. We got to make sure we're not, dumping 72 essays on her on a Tuesday and expecting her to have those back to students on a Thursday, right? So it takes a little discussion there. The Comp 1 teacher has to allow some time for the 0870 instructor to look at essays and provide feedback to the students. But also in the 0870 course, it's its own course as well. So they might be doing grammar, particularly a lot of grammar review, sentence structure review. Maybe some content review, but that's usually more on the Comp 1 side. And whatever other activities the 0870 instructor deems worthwhile and helpful to the students. Let me kind of show you how that might work. If you go, most of you are registered into, where'd it go? This English 1010 support course. And there you'll find a lot of resources, particularly under the content page. we're going to go down here to the co-requisite one. And here you're going to see a sample syllabus and class schedule. You're also going to see a sample OH70 schedule based on that one. There's the division syllabus for the 0870 course. So that's kind of primary for 1010 instructors, but it's also there for the 0870 instructors as well. And you're going to see a bunch of resources. You're going to have to work through them a little bit. But we want to take a look at this sample 1010 course. I've already downloaded it. And you're going to see, and by the way, you can use this material all you want. But I'm talking primarily to the 1010 instructors right now. But you are going to have a policy in your addendum pointing out to students that you're not going to grade any essays that the 0870 instructor has not reviewed. And again, you're probably going to want that review from the 0870 instructor to help students learn some of the problems they're having in the writing. Doesn't mean the 0870 instructor is going to be copy editing. They shouldn't be doing that. But they're going to try and highlight problems within the essay and help students learn to write better, particularly kind of at the high school level where you're not supposed to be doing it in the Comp 1 class. You're going to notice there's a little blurb about student absences. One weakness within this approach, if one of the instructors gets sick or something happens, particularly around the time where they're scheduled to review essays, that could be a hassle. It could be quite the hassle. Or if it snows. One thing about this Co-Req module is it requires you to be kind of flexible and not overly rigid within your scheduling. But here we get down to the class schedule, and you can see I'm asking students to turn in their draft to, in this case, Joanne Shell. By the end of my class, I want to watch them write as they're doing it. But Joanne's going to be the one looking at the drafts first, and they're going to get it on a Thursday, and I'm hoping she can get it done on a Tuesday. Now, if all three of the instructors she's paired with have something turned in on that Thursday, Joanne might kind of email everybody and say, I might need a week here to get all this done. Particularly if they're full classes, if there's 24 students in each of one of her classes. So, I want to get the schedule to her as quickly as I can, so she can kind of provide feedback and say, whoa, that's too much coming in all at once. I need a little more time. But you'll see there's another one coming due. But again, she's not supposed to be copy editing. It's hard work to go through the essays, but she's not grading, so hopefully there's a little time being saved there. And all 4 essays are going to her. And also along the way, for example, I'm going to probably try and ask her if she wants to work with, when I do a career project, I'm going to ask her if she wants to work on certain things like maybe the resume and a cover letter or something like that, or an introduction. We're posting our stuff on LinkedIn. So hopefully both classes can kind of work on that. I might work more on the essay at the Comp 1 level as students are developing them. She might work more on other elements of the LinkedIn. And maybe even go to, take a trip to the career services or something like that. That's kind of up to her. And every OH instructor is going to have their own little things they like to do. If you look at the sample OH 70 schedule, I didn't do a separate addendum because the policies are pretty much the same. This one's going to focus a lot more on grammar, maybe working on journals of some kind, complementing what the Comp 1 class is doing, but also kind of doing your own things as well. The Comp 1 classes shouldn't really be doing a whole lot of grammar exercises. They should be focusing on writing. That's where the 0870 course comes in and starts supporting that Comp 1 class. I've had good luck with diagramming at the 0870 level. Other instructors may I don't want to do diagramming. Everybody's going to have their own little pet projects. They're going to help students and support that with Comp 1 class. So they are 2 separate classes, but they're linked together, particularly through the essays, and that's where everybody has to kind of figure out their schedule in that way. And again, the sooner you can get it to the 0870 instructor, the happier everybody's going to be. But hopefully the support course helps a little bit. There's a lot of content on there, particularly for the Comp 1s, and as we continue with this support course, we'll hopefully keep posting more and more good material on there. But that's kind of what I wanted to cover. We'll be talking as we go along. If you need me to make a video showing you how to do things in D2L, I'm happy to do that. But other than that, I'm going to get off here, and we'll hopefully talk to you later. See you around. Definitely next week at the adjunct meeting. But bye-bye. We'll talk to you later.